So we're going to start in a pose. It's a variation on fish, supported fish. So take 2 blocks or a blanket. I'll show you the blanket in a second. So I'm going to show you 2 different variations. So one is a little bit more moderate, and that'll be 1 block long ways and low, and the other one medium and sideways. And you sit down and then bring the block so your hips stay on the ground. The block goes from the bottom ribs to the space between the shoulder blades, and then the other one will go under the base of the skull, and you just stay there. If you want more, a bigger opening, instead of this block low and long, it'll go the same direction as the other one, medium and sideways. And so it becomes a little bit bigger heart opening. And then the block under the head can stay the same or lower or go higher, like that. And if you don't have a block, so you can start playing with it, and you're using a blanket, you'll take your blanket, or a towel works too, and you'll roll it up. So it becomes like a little bolster. The way you have it there, Rosa, is perfect. And then it's gonna go long ways where the block would be. And so it goes kind of like bra line, basically, and then the shoulders relax above it, like that. So it just lifts the chest a little higher and allows for the chest muscles and the shoulder muscles to open. Hi, Susan, I'm glad you're joining us tonight. Yeah, good, and then once you find the position that feels right, try to relax. And just know that if you need to make adjustments or move at any time, you can. And just letting your bones settle. So relax your bones, and then the muscles begin to follow. Just notice, and I got here a little bit early tonight, and I just laid on the blocks like this, and at first my body wouldn't relax. Just wouldn't relax. It was like fighting this position. I felt antsy. Felt so good to lie down, and then my body couldn't relax. And I just stayed. There's this power in staying and breathing through the rough patches, the moments that feel uncomfortable. Or perhaps it just feels like a relief to be here and to be held and supported. This is a small back bend, and all the back bends are heart openers. So it's the physical space that encloses the heart, the chest, the muscles in the chest and pec muscles and shoulder muscles. And it's also the energetic heart, where we store a lot of feelings and emotions. Yeah, I see Tiffany extending her arms overhead. If that feels good to you, you're welcome to take your arms overhead. Sometimes I like to hold on to my elbow points, let the elbows relax towards the floor, and just get a bigger opening through the sides. And just know there's nothing to fix, nothing to change, nothing to accomplish right here, nothing to do right here. Take a few more moments. Just try to let your body settle. Letting go of the day, letting go of all the occurrences and conversations and things you did or didn't do. Just let it all go. And then from here, you're just going to roll off the blocks and slide them, or the blanket, slide them to the side and come back on your back. So you're going to just stay on your back. Bring your feet flat to the floor. And just pause. Let the tailbone and sacrum and lower body settle. Your feet flat, and then we'll do a few pelvic tilts. So you'll tilt your tailbone up and press the lower back down, and then point the tailbone down and arch the lower back so the hips never lift off the ground. And you'll just move back and forth like that, just rocking the pelvis. So tilt the tail up, press the low back down, point the tailbone down, arch the lower spine, lumbar spine. And just like rocking front to back, turning on the lower abdominal muscles, warming up all the little muscles around the pelvis and the hips. And then the next time you scoop the tailbone up, take the hips all the way up into bridge, just a small bridge, and then float the arms overhead. The arms come to the floor behind you. Good, and then you'll lower the hips and the arms at the same time, returning to the floor. So arms float back down by your sides, hips lower. And then do that again, lift the hips, float the arms overhead. You can adjust your feet anytime you need. And pause there. Hands can be at the floor or towards the ceiling. And then lower everything. Lower the hips and the arms and try and coordinate it so they all land at the same time. We'll do that again. Lift the hips, press the feet down, float the arms overhead. You don't need to go to the highest that you possibly can. We're just warming up. And then lower the hips, float the arms all the way back down. Good, we'll do that one more time. Lift the hips, float the arms overhead, maybe backs of the hands touch the floor or hands to the ceiling. And then lower everything to the ground, to the earth. And then bring the soles of the feet together, let your knees go wide. And then take your arms and move them away from your body, so arms out like a T. And then take your left knee and you'll just close it over onto the right. Left knee closes onto the right, and then you'll open it back up to the center, and then right knee will close onto the left. So it's just a small rocking sensation. And then open to center, and left knee closes onto the right. Open at center, right knee closes onto the left. Open to center. And the next time the left knee closes on the right, stay there, left knee to right. And if you want, you'll straighten the left leg and catch the foot with the right hand. Yeah, good, if you want. And then another possibility is you lift up and catch your right foot with your left hand. You can. Yep, and then lower yourself back down towards the ground. Good. And try to get both shoulders to stay on the floor. Breathing, outer left hip. Take a few more breaths here. Very gently release, and you'll come back to Supta Baddha Konasana, feet together, knees apart at the floor. Pause. Good, and then take the right knee and close it over onto the left, and you can stay. You can bring your knees higher. You can straighten the top leg, the right leg, and catch hold of the outer foot or shin with the left hand. You can lift the torso up, catch your left foot in your right hand, and then lower back down, trying to get the right shoulder to the floor. There's a gentle press of the left hip forward. And if any of that doesn't feel good, you can reverse it or do what does. And breathing. Take a couple more breaths. And then gently release, and you'll roll back onto your back, feet together, knees apart. Supta Baddha Konasana. And then begin to press your feet together, creating a little heat, a little energy in the lower body, right? Press the feet together, and then interlace your hands behind your head and stay there. Press the feet together. Then you want the little scoop of the tailbone up. So tailbone up, press the feet, and pull the belly down, and then see if you can maybe float the feet an inch or two off the ground, or maybe a little more. And then you're gonna take the chest and pulse it up 10 times. Small lifts, 9, press the feet together. They can be resting or floating. You're counting on your own. Yeah, pull the belly button towards the spine. Nice, Amy. And then after 10, you'll lower it down, pause, stay there. We'll do one more set, but relax. Relax the belly, relax the feet. And then you'll engage again. Press the feet together. So push, scoop the tailbone up, float the feet a few inches, lift the shoulder blades off the ground, and pulse up. Last 10. 9, just building a little heat. Try and get the shoulder blades up off the ground, not just the head lifting, right? So head just rests. You're lifting the whole chest and pulling the belly down and front ribs in. Good job. And then rest, pause, release the hands from behind the head, and you'll gather your knees together, hug them up onto your chest, and give a gentle squeeze. You can sort of a small rock from side to side. And then you'll start to rock front to back. And make your way to downward facing dog. Good. And you can pedal it out right there and move your hips a bit from side to side. Bring your feet together and lift your right leg to the top, sky. And bend the upper knee and roll the hip open. Good, and then take a few big hip circles. So circle the knee in a direction. And circle the other direction, just nice and slow, big circles. Good, and then return the right foot to the floor next to the left and switch legs. Take the left leg to the sky, bend the upper knee and roll open. And then you can take some hip circles, circle the knee around, and it can be bent or straight. You can be at play with that. Go the other direction. Nice, Tiffany. How you can be from tabletop or downward dog here. And then return the left foot next to the right. And walk your hands to your feet. You're gonna walk to the back of your mat or forward fold at the back of the mat. And then interlace your hands behind your back. And you can press the shoulders to the back and stretch the knuckles of your hands up to the ceiling, maybe even overhead. You can shake your head, yes and no. It's really letting the weight of your head drop towards the floor, towards the earth. Good, release your hands back gently to the floor and walk yourself back forward, downward facing dog. Inhale your right leg up and back. Exhale, step it forward, low lunge. So you'll set your left knee to the ground or to a blanket is fine too. And then reach your arms up if that feels good. If it doesn't feel good, you might cactus the arms, or hands can be at your thigh or even at the floor on 2 blocks. Good, press your hips forward, nice, Rosa. Lift the heart up and imagine that feeling when the blocks were under your shoulders, that sensation of opening up and expanding across the chest. Yes. And bring your hands back down to the mat and you'll step it back high plank or to knees, hands and knees. And then you'll move through a vinyasa. It can be knees, chest, and chin to the floor or all the way down. And then cobra maybe, or upward facing dog. And press it back to downward dog, or it can be child's pose or puppy pose as well. And inhale your left leg to the sky. It could be from tabletop or down dog, stretch up and back. And step forward, low lunge, set the right knee down and then reach up. And pull the pit of the belly in. So it's like you're wearing a pair of tight jeans and reach up and look at one thing in your space. It could be one spot on the ceiling or the wall in front of you to get anchored into the moment, like right now in your body. They say there's like through the one point, you see one thing, there's this access to all points, to all things. It's like the sixth sense, like your peripheral vision opens, pores of your skin open. Take one more breath there. And set your hands to the mat, and then you move through your vinyasa, high to low plank, or you can move through cat cows even, upward dog or cobra, easy back bend, and then downward facing dog or child's pose or puppy pose. And lift your right leg up and back, breathe in. And exhale, step your right foot forward, low lunge again, back knee down. Reach your arms up. And then take your hands and clasp them behind you, interlace them at the low back. And you can keep the elbows bent. The elbows can stay bent and you pull the shoulders back, or you can start to straighten the arms. Yeah, and you could stay very upright. So what you want to try to do is zip up the belly, pull the front ribs in, and then maybe some of you might be able to go back. You might even rest your knuckles on the floor. Go back. I like my chin near my chest. I've got some neck stuff that I deal with, or you can take the gaze up. Good, and then you'll release that, bring your hands back to the mat and step it back, high plank, and that could be hands and knees. Yeah, low plank, upward dog or cobra, downward facing dog, press it back. The left leg to the sky, breathe in, step or help your left foot forward. Low lunge, set the right knee down. Back toes can be tucked or pointed, either one. Then interlace the hands again. Try to get the opposite thumb on top. I usually do it the normal way and then I switch it. And then you'll press the shoulders back. And it could be like that. You could stay there. I like to press my knuckles into the sacrum, pull the shoulders back. Or you can stretch the arms down. Tendency is the front ribs pop forward. Pull them in. Nice, Beth. Good, Amy. Think about the energetic opening across the chest and the front of the right hip. And then just release. Hands come to the mat. And step back, high plank to low plank, or knees, chest, chin to the floor. Upward facing or cobra. Downward facing dog. Good. One more time. Lift your right leg up and back. And then step your right foot forward. Set the left knee down. Low lunge. Reach up. And then bring your hands down to frame the right foot for half splits. So you'll straighten the right leg and flex the right foot. The left knee stays on the floor, half splits. Yeah, good. And sometimes you have to adjust the heel. You can step it forward or back. Try to pull the toes up towards the ceiling, right toes to the ceiling. Pull them back. You can even use your hand to help you, or you can have your hands on blocks. Oh, lovely hamstrings. Send your love, light, forgiveness to your hamstrings. Good, and then point the toes and you'll move through a vinyasa, high plank, Low plank, upward facing or cobra. Pin the shoulders back, downward facing dog. And inhale your left leg up and back. And step or help it forward. Low lunge, set the back knee down. Just reach up, stretch up. And then you'll carefully bring the hands down to frame the left foot and pull the hips back. Flex the left foot. And sometimes I have to step the foot back or forward or slide it. Yeah, good. Making adjustments. Blocks under the hands are great tools. And often the foot will sickle, meaning the pinky toe will collapse forward, and you want to pull the pinky toe edge of the foot back even with the big toe mound. And you'll feel all the muscles in the back of the leg kind of light up. You want to be easy with the hamstrings, not forcing, just allowing. Good. Point the toes, rock it forward, step it back, high plank to low plank, or you can skip it. Upward facing or cobra, downward facing dog to breathe. Or child's pose. And set your knees to the floor for puppy pose. So puppy, it's like downward dog and child's pose combined. So you keep your hips above the knees and then walk your arms forward and see if you can rise up to your fingertips. Let's just see. And then start to press the chest to the ground and forehead to the ground. The arms are energetic. And those of you that want a little bit more, you imagine you're pushing a marble with the nose and you come to your chin, look forward. Great big opening through the shoulders, chest, heart space. Good, and then you'll come on up, tuck your toes under, walk your hands to your knees, and press up to a forward fold. So you just push yourself up to your feet at the back of your mat. Walk back, forward fold, ragdoll. You can hold opposite arm with opposite hand. Release your hands to the floor. And then right here, you're going to shift your weight over to your left foot and take your right leg to the sky for standing splits. Right leg goes up behind you. And you can hold on to the left ankle with the left hand and you draw your chest towards the thigh, right toes higher. Or those of you that want a little more strengthening, you can walk your hands forward, more like a handstand prep. You shift your weight into your hands and come up high on the ball of the left foot and hold. Or you can do a few little hops even if you want. Good, and then bring the right foot next to the left and just pause right there for a moment. You can shake your head yes and no. And shift your weight into your right foot. We'll switch. Take your left toes to the sky, left leg up. Foot can be pointed or flexed. You can hold on to the right ankle with the right hand or both hands challenging your balance. Or plant your palms in front of you, come up high onto the ball of the right foot and hold. Or add some hops. And then forward fold, set the left foot next to your right, just ragdoll. Toe heel your feet wider apart and you'll come down into a squat. Drop your hips between the heels, hands to heart center. You can sit on a block too if you need to. Just gently with your elbows, press your knees away from center and the knees press back into the elbows. This nice connection. You can close your eyes. Draw the jawbone back towards the neck. And then release your hands to the mat. You'll straighten your legs. Take a pause there so the blood comes back behind the knees. And bring your hands to your hips. Elbows point to the ceiling. Root down, rise up. Extended mountain. Reach your arms up. Fingers stretching. And then bring your hands to heart center. And then arms down by your sides. Good. So here's where we're going to come to a wall. So if you have a wall nearby, I think most of you do. Tiffany, do you have a wall that you can use nearby? Yes? Okay, it can be behind. Yeah, you don't have to be where I can see you, just somewhere close by. Perfect. So what you're going to do is make a box shape at a wall. So I'm going to show you over here. So hands come shoulder width distance apart, and then the feet walk back, and you drop the chest kind of like puppy to make a box. So you're trying to make a shape like that, like a box with the floor and the wall. Yeah, good. Let's see how it goes. So you don't want to walk the feet too far back. You want the hips right over the heels. Shoulders and hips about in one line. Yeah, good. Press your hands into the wall, pressing into the index finger and the thumb. And there's this energetic, like pushing the wall away from you and breathing. Straighten your elbows, moving energy through the joints. Good, and then you'll just stand up. So you just keep your feet where they are and you can just stand up, pushing away from the wall. Let the arms come by your sides. Take a breath. Just notice how you feel. Good, and then we're gonna do that again. So bring your hands back to the wall about shoulder height. And press and walk your feet back, hips back. Good job. And then this time you'll bring your feet a little closer together and then take the right leg back behind you like you're an airplane with the lower body. And you want to turn the right toes to the floor if you have the space. Good. Flex the foot. Push into the wall. Press the left foot, the big toe mound, down into the ground. Good, and then set the right foot next to the left. Switch legs, take the left leg back, press into the palms, press the heel away from you, press the right big toe down into the ground. There's a straight line, from your shoulder to your hip to your heel. Set the left foot next to the right, pause right there in your box pose. And then come on up. You can take a step in towards the wall if you want. Relax your arms down and take a breath. Okay, so this next one, similar, you're gonna stay in a similar spot, but it's more about the lower body. So you'll turn your right hip to face the wall. So you'll turn your right hip to face the wall, but you wanna be one leg length away from the wall. And it looks like this. You're gonna take your right leg, and you're gonna bring it to the wall with the toes facing up. Right leg to the wall, toes facing up. And the left leg is in Tadasana, right underneath your hip. Good. And then once you're there, reach your arms up. And the way the foot stays at the wall is this gentle press of the foot into the wall. Yeah, you got it, Rosa. It's okay to have the knee slightly bent. Or you can also bring your foot onto a chair with the knee bent. That works too. A foot on a chair. Good, and really stretch through the body. Breathing. Yeah, hug muscle to bone in the right thigh. That's the leg that's in the air, like hug the muscle to the bone. Very good. And then release the arms down. And with your hands, you're going to pick up the knee, boop, and set the right foot next to the left. And notice how you feel. And then you're going to turn around. So turn to the other side. And then you'll bring your left foot to the wall, straight out. So there's an external rotation. The inner thigh is externally rotating. Press your foot into the wall. And then keep that right foot straight under the right hip. And then reach up. Nice, Beth. Yeah, Beth is even reaching towards the wall to get a little more opening through that right side. You could do that. Nice, Brianna. Super strong through that standing leg. Upper leg hugging muscle to bone. So this is building strength and also this flexibility, this big opening through the inner thigh, building heat in the hips, pulling in through the core, expanding and opening. And then you'll come up, bring your hands down with your left hand, pick the left foot up, set it next to the right. Good, and then you'll turn your back to the wall for a moment. We have one more, but you're gonna take a break. So you're just gonna bring your butt to the wall, feet a little bit away, and you'll just come forward. So you can either rest your forearms on your thigh or drape your body over your upper body over the lower body. And then I like to walk my sitting bones up the wall slightly. Good, and then from here you'll come on up, hands to your thighs, and press yourself all the way up. You'll stand up with your back to the wall. If you have a block, you might want to block. We're going to take half moon at the wall if you have the space. And if you don't have the space, you can come to your mat for half moon. And you'll start with the right leg down. So bring the block to the right hand. And you'll turn your right toes to the right. And you're not right up against the wall, a little bit away from it, but not too far. And then you tip forward, so the right hand comes down and you're on the block or on the floor, and then the left leg will come up, and you want to press the left heel into the wall, and the left arm to the ceiling, and it presses into the wall too. The back of your head can press into the wall, or you can look up. And if you want more, like if it's not quite enough, you can take the block away if the block is there. You can also hover the fingers. This is a great place to practice hovering, like lifting up and letting the right hand hover slightly. Yes, Beth. Good, and you want this really strong external rotation in the right thigh. So you're spinning the inner thigh towards your head, almost. Pinning both hips against the wall. Nice, Amy. Good, and then forward fold from there. You'll look down, bring your left foot next to your right, and just pause, shake your head. And then come on up to stand, and you'll switch. So you'll bring the block in front of the left foot, turn the left toes to the left. And come on into half moon. Yeah, good. Either hand on the block or fingers on the floor. Nice, Brianna. Good work. And if you can, you want to press your right heel into the door frame or the wall or the space. If it ends up near the space, just press your calf into it. Good, Amy. I can't see you, Tiffany, but I hope you are enjoying this, feeling it. Good, Rosa. Try to press your head back into the wall, the bun. You press back and support it. You feel that support, the wall, big opening through the legs, hips, and the pelvis. Good, and then forward fold, just bowing and releasing. Good, now listen carefully. You're going to stay in the forward fold, but turn so your back is to the wall. Stay in your forward fold. No. Your head, like your head and your upper back. There you go, not the back of the legs. Perfect. Take your feet wider apart. So you turn so your head is facing the wall. You're facing the wall. Yep, and then you press your upper back into the wall. Lean into it. Yep, so you're upside down. And your back is to the wall, and you can just kind of lean into it. Yeah. Just be careful if you're on carpet. You don't want slippery. You can keep your hands at the floor for support. You don't want the feet to slip out. But if you can, you just slide your body down the wall. It should feel really nice. The head just dangles. Big hamstring opening. Good job. And then from here, the way out, you're just gonna kind of push yourself away and then walk your hands up the wall. You'll probably be pretty close, and you wanna stay close to the wall because often there's a lightheadedness. Just stay there, stay close to the wall, hang on. Yeah, Amy, I know, I get it too. Breathing. Okay, good. And then you're gonna just turn around. So I'm gonna give you an option. So you're gonna have an option here to either take one more like short variation at the wall or at the floor, or you can bring your mat to the wall. So this is kind of like gonna be a little bit of a free-for-all, but it's a variation of dolphin, which is hip opening, and it could become a forearm balance. It could also become one more thing, but I'll tell you that in a second. So I'm gonna go like this. So you can see me over on this wall, I think. And where am I here? Okay, so you're gonna bring your forearms to the wall in a prayer, like that, palms in prayer, at shoulder height. Then you walk your hips back and just melt the chest down. So that's one option, perfect option. Another, let's all start there. We'll all start there and then we'll progress. So start there, forearms to the wall in a prayer. Yeah, and then you press the forearms into the wall, palms into the wall, or palms together, pinky side of the hands into the wall, then pull the hips back, press the hips back. So it's like box pose, but it gets a little deeper into the shoulders. And melt between the shoulder blades, melt through the heart. Breathe. Give a tiny pull of the pit of the belly in. And with the pelvis, you can either point the tailbone up, so you have kind of a sway back, or you can tuck, I like to tuck the tail down slightly to keep the, yeah, like that, and then melt the chest more. So focusing more on the upper back with the pelvis more neutral. Very good. And then you'll just gently press yourself up and pause. So we're gonna do this 3 times, so you'll have opportunities. So you can either do that same one again, or you can come down and be near the wall in your dolphin. So it looks like this. So same pose, but your forearms are on the ground. And with the forearms on the ground, they could be either interlaced or parallel. So forearms come to the ground, and you can be near the wall, and then your hips lift. So same sensation, chest melts back. And those of you that want to play with a forearm stand here, you walk your feet in is all you do. And then take a leg up, and you can play with hopping up and looking to balance. Or you can stay at the wall, prayer at the wall, okay? So dolphin, forearm stand, or stay with the prayer at the wall. Yeah, so dolphins on the forearms, forearms stay parallel. Good, Amy, press the forearms down, hips up. Good, Rosa, walk your feet in towards you. That's why we worked the hamstrings, because it's a big hamstring opener too. And to take the kick up is with the hamstrings. Good, Brianna. Ribs in, Amy, ribs in, belly in. Breathing. Okay, come to child's pose. We have one more, don't worry. Child's pose, pause for a moment. Okay, so I want you to watch this last one so you can have those options again. So it could be prayer at the wall, dolphin, forearm stand, or my favorite heart opener, it's called hollow back, and it's at a wall in a handstand variation. So some of you may be able to play with this. Some of you will just stay where you are. I don't know if you can see my body, but for this, you want to kick up and do a handstand, but not against the wall. You're a little bit away from the wall, and then you'll bring your feet to the wall in your handstand, and then you start to press the hips to the wall. I don't know if you can see my body. So my upper body is really in that box pose, and I'm melting the tail. It's a huge heart opener. And then to come out, you have to lift the tailbone up and come down. So you can try that, or forearms, dolphin, or prayer, forearms at the heart. Good, Beth. Good, Amy. Yeah, you got it. Big kick, yep. And you press your butt, let your butt slide down the wall, opening the chest and heart space. Good, or dolphin, good, Rosa. Maybe walk your feet in a little bit. Nice, Beth. Press your chest towards me. Yes. Big back bend, heart opener. Good, and then you'll come on out wherever you are and either forward fold or child's pose, either one. Nice job. Good, Tiffany, welcome back. All right, so now we're gonna move to the hips. We'll come off the shoulders. So you can either come into pigeon, half pigeon on the right. You can come on your back, reclined pigeon, or if you wanna stay near the wall, you can take your left foot to the wall and the right ankle goes on top of the left thigh. So you can be in a pigeon variation with no arms, like that, or on your back and interlace your hands behind the left hamstring, or half pigeon, right knee towards the right wrist and the foot diagonal. And those, if you were in the handstand or the hollow back or the dolphin, your heart rate might be up. And here we're just starting to bring it all down, slow it all down. Start to become aware again of your bones and just kind of relaxing your bones down into the earth and let the muscles start to follow. The muscles will follow. Consciously relax every muscle in your face, including your eyes, your cheeks, your jaw, your tongue. Relax the muscles in your throat. Relax your shoulders, muscles in your neck. Relax your hands if you can. And then from here, you'll come into double pigeon. If you're on your back or at a wall, either one, you can take your legs to the left. You can just go all the way left. Good, with your right foot landing on the floor. Or you'll come to seated, sit over on the right hip, and swing the left leg around till it stacks on top of the right, just like that. And then if you're seated, you'll sit up tall and see if you can fold forward. Walk your hands forward. Good. You're on your back. You want the the knee that's up towards the ceiling to be pressing forward slightly. Good, Amy. Nice, Brianna. Nice, Beth. Do about a minute or so hold here, so there's no hurry. You know, you get to stay and just like that layer by layer, just start to peel away the layers. Sometimes we have layers that we thought we peeled away and then they show up again. There they are. and that's okay. It's part of being human. And it's a continual process of letting go, letting go, letting go. When we so badly want to hold on. The Buddhists talk a lot about what causes our suffering is, you know, the grasping, holding, even like grasping for joy, trying to replicate what made you once happy. It's like all of that causes suffering. And really what we're being called to do on a big scale right now is to be where we are. Not once was, not focusing on what once was. Be here in the creation of something new. Come on up and you'll make your way to half pigeon or reclined pigeon or foot on the wall pigeon on the left leg forward, or left ankle on right thigh. You can take a downward dog or a knees to chest or whatever counter pose you need first if you need. Breathing. And what I love so much about yoga is how it moves energy through my body. Moves blood, like these poses move blood and oxygen and lymph, and then energy. And really, yoga has a profound impact on my life in helping me process things and move through things. And come back home to myself when I feel lost. A lot of you know I'm going in for surgery on Monday. I'm having this shoulder surgery and having normal anxiety around it. And it's showing up mostly in the middle of the night. Like I'm waking up and I'm having all these crazy thoughts about things I can't control, not even about me, just the whole world, just in the form of anxiety, you know. And last night I'm like, I just focus on your breath, just focus on your breath. But it made it worse. It's like, oh my God, I'm anxious. I can't breathe, all of that. So instead I focused on my body, relaxing my bones, my muscles, sensations. And eventually I was able to come out of that state. I was just so grateful to have tools. It doesn't make me exempt from having scary experiences and crazy experiences. Just these are tools for you. And they're for you to share. Don't hold them. And don't be stingy with what you learn. And then double pigeon. You can swing the right leg around and stack it on top, or take your knees to the right. Good, Amy. You can use the wall, pressing into the wall or the floor or your hands. Sit up tall and hinge forward to whatever degree your body allows. Softening, noticing, letting any tension or worry or stress Just dissolve, let it dissolve. You'll slowly come up and you'll take a seated forward fold. So stretch both legs out in front of you. Sit maybe in the middle of your mat. And you can reach up if you want. You don't have to. You can just walk forward or reach up first and then hinge forward. You can flex the feet, keep the legs super active, or they can be relaxed. There's two different versions. There's many different, actually hundreds of versions and variations. Really just letting the fabric of the whole back of the body just feel like it's like opening and stretching, and knots are dissolving. Lengthen into the back of the neck. And then roll on up. And I'm going to give you a couple options again. You can take the blocks back underneath you and come to fish on the blocks here. Or if you want another inversion, hips on a block is great, waterfall or legs up a wall, or shoulder stand. If you want to take shoulder stand to open up the back of the body a little bit more, you can do that. Or you can come back near a wall, take your legs up a wall, put a block under the hips, or if you want more heart opening, we did a lot tonight, but if you want more, you can put the blanket or bolster blocks under the shoulders again. Good, Rosa. Yeah, nice, good choices. Inversion or heart opening. And you have 2 minutes right here. Let's see what Journey to the Heart has to say today. It's the 12th, August 12th. Practice forgiveness. He was an old man sitting on the corner bench. I don't know why, we just keep on forgiving our brothers and sisters, he said, looking at the people walking by. I suppose it's because when we do, we really forgive ourselves. Is there someone we're judging, censoring? If we look more closely, we'll see that when we blame others, we're chastising ourselves as well. If we're honest, really honest, we can see that often what upsets us is something similar to what we ourselves do. Other people can be mirrors of our own behavior. Yes, there are times when another person does something absolutely outrageous, and we can stand there, hands on hips, saying, I've been wronged. I can't understand how anyone could behave that way. But often, if we're honest, we really can understand. We have behaved that way too. Practice forgiveness. Judgment without forgiveness causes us to feel isolated, separate and apart, causes us to judge ourselves in the same way. Discover how much better you feel when you forgive others. Find out how much better you feel when you forgive yourself. You'll begin to make your way into Shavasana. If you'd like to take, I love taking a twist after hips on a block or shoulder stands. If you'd like to take a quick twist or happy baby, or if you need, your body needs anything before Shavasana, like a blanket or socks or shirt, go get that. And then you'll find your way into your resting pose. These few precious moments, just be still. And to deepen your breath right here. Start to bring your awareness back to your breath. You can wiggle your fingers and move your toes or rotate your ankles and wrists around. You can stretch your arms overhead if that feels good. And then carefully bend your knees and roll to whatever side's most comfortable. And with your eyes remaining closed, press yourself up to a seated posture. Eyes closed so your attention just stays inward just for another moment or two. Touch your palms together and bring your thumbs to your heart space. The space we opened tonight, just tapping into that heart energy. And lift your thumbs up to your forehead center. I hope you have a beautiful, restful evening. Namaste.